Hi, I'm Janet Ong, Yahoo Finance Editor based in Singapore. Welcome to the Yahoo Finance All Markets Summit Asia. The theme this year is New Challenges, New Opportunities. And for this Asian chapter, we have gathered some of the brightest minds in the business. And we have with us today Caecilia Chu, co-founder and CEO of YouTrip, Southeast Asia's leading fintech company and Singapore's first multi-currency wallet with a Link MasterCard that allows users to pay in over 150 currencies with no fees. Welcome, Caecilia.
Thank you, Janet, and very much thank you to Yahoo for having me today.
Caecilia, as you know, fintech companies are shaping the ways of managing money that were unimaginable until a few years ago. And YouTrip has come a long way since its launch in 2018. And now processes over $1 billion in card spend annually. Could you share with us what are some of the challenges facing the company as the pandemic wanes? As we know, online spending had soared over during the pandemic and there was surge in users. So is that a double-edged sword with travel, borders opening up and people traveling more? What does it mean for the company?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Janet, for this very interesting question. For us, what we are seeing in the market right now, it's a very, very strong demand environment for both of our products. Obviously, we have YouTrip in the market for almost 4 years now for the consumers, but we also have a corporate product called Youtrip for the SMEs. And I would say that ever since the reopening of Singapore and really the broader Southeast Asia region, user sign up has just really picked up significantly. And in terms of transaction volumes, what we're doing now, it's about 4 times of the same period compared to a year ago. And what is most exciting for us and the nicest things for us from all this growth is that it is primarily organic. So having been in the market for 4 years, we're a category leader in terms of the whole multi-currency and cross-border payment landscape. So we are very, very excited about the journey ahead.
And to follow on your point, Caecilia, YouTrip has been very active this year with the announcement of UBiz, a corporate card for SMEs, as well as an in-app insurance. What other products do you see coming up for the regional market?
Yeah, that's a really great question, right? So when we think about our journey, especially over the last 2 years, the biggest learning for us through the pandemic is that, we wanted to be what I call now an all-weather company. If you look at our business today, it's so much more diversified. Back in 2019, we really primarily rely on travel to be successful, but now we have so many more diversified capabilities on our technology platform that, we are determined with or without the pandemic, even with or without the travel coming back, we will be successful. And so with that philosophy, I would say going ahead, looking forward, we are truly excited about the UBiz, our SME product. And, when we think back in terms of what the pandemic has created as an opportunity for technologies company is that, every businesses now big and small in any different industry are really thinking about digitalization and a lot of automation tools now they're looking for. And on top of that, because everyone now operates in a kind of semi-hybrid and remote manner. So naturally, companies just have a lot more cross-border, different currency sort of transactions and payments that they need to do for payrolls, for vendor payments and so forth. So, I think for us, it's really an exciting time. And I think we're really launching a very strong product to the market at the right time.
Interesting you should mention that, Caecilia. What do you think about the competitive landscape as more digital banks launch in Singapore and more players enter the fintech industry? How are you dealing with the challenges that emerge?
Yeah, once again, thank you for the question. I think, when you look at when YouTrip first launched about 4 years ago, we have been a very competitive company. I think it's not new that we are competing against, of course, the pockets of traditional banks, but also we have always been competing against fintech peers in the marketplace. And so I would say we have always been a very competitive team, and we will remain that way. And when we look at the digibank business model, right? So there, I would say at least for the first year or a year and a half, the key focus would really be about getting the deposit products, really getting the lending products right? So ultimately, that is why companies get a banking license, right? And you pay a lot of capital for that. Is really to get the balance sheet business going and make it, as profitable as possible. So I would say in the various line of business that we're currently operating in, whether it's payments, FX, card issuing, remittances, and more, I think we still have a long runway in terms of continue to grow. And not only that, to your point, to really grab market share in the meantime.
To follow up on your question, Caecilia, how does YouTrip plan to grow market share and stay ahead of the competition?
Yeah, so, our strategy right now, the way we think about product is really to be much more diversified than before. And I think what we have learned in the past 2 years is, really to be agile and adaptive. We know that, product market fit is an evolving problem to solve. It's always work in progress. So having that diversified base of features and capabilities to us is the most important thing. But having said that, as I share at the beginning of the call, I think we are really at the right place at the right time right now. The user growth momentum, it's tremendous. I would say we are at the fastest growing pace, in the history of our company. So we are very excited to really capitalize and capture this opportunity from our market reopening.
Is there room for new, smaller players, or do you see a consolidation in the payment space?
Yeah, so, my personal perspective of, I would say the financial services industry as a whole, it's a massive market. It's really a massive market, have a lot of depth in it. And when you couple that with the fragmentation across Southeast Asia, right? So I think compared to big markets like China, US, here, while we call it Southeast Asia, it is really made up of a number of individual markets, and each of them would have its own language, culture, customer preferences. Also, the regulatory compliance and legal system is all different. And so, to me, it's really not a one winner takes all type of situation. So I would personally foresee that there will continuously be both bigger fintechs, bigger players, but also small, nimble startups continue to evolve and continue to innovate in the interest of customers, actually, and to really help them solve interesting, perhaps more niche problems. To me, ultimately, I think this is only great for the ecosystem. It's really great for the industry because, as a customer, myself, I think for the industry, we do want to have more options and more alternatives in the marketplace.
And interestingly, your former classmates at Harvard Business School, Grab's co-founder, Anthony Tan and Tan Hui Ling, have gone for a SPAC listing. Are there any plans to follow in their footsteps?
So they're very good friends and they have done fantastically. For me, it's really a personal inspiration in terms of my own entrepreneur journey. But what I would say about SPAC and capital market is this. I think, capital markets tends to be very fickle. There are days that are extremely good and, good for everybody. And there are days that are extremely challenging. And I would say now we're in a fairly challenging time. So, as an entrepreneur, our job is to really focus on building. It's really focus on improving the business fundamentals, build great products, expand into great markets, really focusing on improving our own company metrics. I think the fundamental is where we are focusing 100% of our effort on. And I would say the capital market work streams, that kind of thing, we'll leave it to later when the market turns around.
Thanks, Caecilia. And one last question. You have won a lot of accolades, and most recently you were the Tech Leader of the Year, nominated by the Singapore Computer Society. Can you share what inspires and motivates you as a leader in the fintech industry?
Yeah, I always think that being an entrepreneur is a deeply personal choice. In the short term or even the medium term, there are easier way to make money, or easier way to progress in your career. For me, my father was a postman, and my mom was a kindergarten teacher. So when I was growing up, we lived paycheck to paycheck. So the big motivation for me was that I remember when I was young and my dad was trying to knock on the doors of banks to get a bank loan. He got rejected by every single one of them. And so I really have this worldview where mass market customers are always underserved by financial institutions. So I think it's truly a privilege and absolutely an honor for me in the position today to build this new type of financial institutions that truly democratize the financial services for the mass. And, I am very excited waking up every morning, going to work and, going to battle with my team. And, I think there's just no other place, a better place to be than where I am today.
Thanks, Caecilia, for joining us at the Yahoo Finance All Market Summit Asia. It's been very inspiring to speak with you and to learn about the developments in the fintech space. For more information and interviews, please visit our website.